Hello everyone, it's Mubarak Ali Khan. I hope all of you are enjoying good health. Respected listeners, I'm back with another exciting video. This particular video will help those who are trying to improve their writing skills. For example, anyone who is applying into O levels or A levels or into university, into any functional course, any competitive exam, maybe into your any language test, for example, IELTS, PTE, OET. This particular video is going to help. If you are writing ordinarily, it will help you to write extraordinarily. And in this particular session, basically, I need to talk about figures of speech. This figure of speech, like I'll talk about all the figures of speech with the example. If you have any question, you may ask the way you had been asking. Without wasting any further time, I would like to go into my content, which I used to show you. So yes, Bismillah Rahman Rahim, figures of speech. So first of all, we need to understand that what's the difference between literal and figurative language. So literal language is the actual dictionary meaning of a word. Language, that means what it appears to mean. It is also known as denotative meaning, right? And the other one is figurative, which is that language that goes far off the normal meaning of the words used. It is also known as contextual meaning as well. Denotative, like D for dictionary, D for denotative, and connotative are basically context dependent meanings. So coming to my exact data here, that what are we going to talk about? Let's start with the introduction. Figures of speech, any intentional deviation from literal statement or common usage that emphasizes, clarifies, or embellishes both written and spoken language, are found basically, forming an integral part of language. Figures of speech are found in oral literatures as well as in polished poetry and prose and in everyday speech. So what is the importance of this? Figures of speech are often used and created for emphasis, for freshness, for expression or clarity. Figures of speech present ordinary things in new or unusual ways. For example, ordinary thing is considered and used in a way that your ordinary language turns to be an extraordinary language, and that is more impactful, that is more appreciated, and that is basically unusual. So figures of speech rely on implied or suggested meaning rather than a dictionary definition. So I have talked about denotative meaning as well as connotative meaning. So basically we are going in depth in the connotative meanings and how these connotative meanings are to be put. Basically, all the meanings, whatsoever you'll read, depends upon the connotation of that, the context of that. Otherwise, you can't take the gist as it is. So uses, first of all, it creates images in reader's mind, establishes mood, expresses feelings and ideas, and interesting and surprising ideas. If you look into a picture, you see there is a boy who's sleeping and maybe dreaming. So how is it being put in a figurative language? That is, as I slept beneath the stars, a white blanket of fog covered me in its misty folds. Like, you see, mostly if you're describing something in descriptive, it has its great role in descriptive language. In academic language, mostly people refrain themselves to use it. Otherwise, it is mostly evident into your descriptive or sometimes into narrative writings as well. So figures of speech will talk about simile, metaphor, metonymy, synecdoche, hyperbole, euphemism, litotes, personification, irony, assonance, onomatopoeia, oxymoron, and antithesis. These are 13. Basically, figures of speech are 20, but these are commonly used figures of speech. So I thought I should talk about it with you. So first of all, simile. A stated comparison, generally formed with like or as. Normally a question arises in the exam, and that is that what's the difference between simile and metaphor? So simile and metaphor, first of all, primarily they are same, but simile in that we put as or like. But in metaphor, we don't put that. I'll talk about metaphor as well. Let's take a look. Between two fundamentally different things that have conclusive qualities in common. Like basically the things are different, but their qualities are somewhere common. If you look into the picture, you see a girl. So she has blue eyes, blonde hair, and bright smile. The sun, round, yellow, bright. So somewhere bright is connected somewhere. So use a matching adjective, bright, and as or like to write the simile. For example, her smile is as bright as the sun. Her smile is bright like the sun. Or if I'm comparing simile and metaphor over here, just to make it more clear, if I say, my son is like sun in my life, this is simile. Or if I say, my son is son of my life, so that is metaphor, in which I haven't used as of like. Some other examples, my love is like a red rose. You were as brave as a lion. They fought like cats and dogs. He's as funny as a barrel of monkeys. He is skinny like a toothpick. So that's how it goes. And metaphor involves a comparison between two comparatively non-similar to the things without the use of like or as. So how it goes, for example, time is a thief. She has a heart of stone. Her head was spinning with ideas. Jenny is a real pig when she eats. You are my sunshine. So that's how it goes basically. Then the next one is metonymy, which a word or phrase is substituted for another, which is narrowly associated. Also, the rhetorical strategy of relating something indirectly by referring to things around it. For example, pen is mightier than the sword. These are narrowly linked with each other. Let me give you a hand. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. Like, actually, we don't want what, actually, we are not saying the, literally, we're not saying that thing. Into the figurative meanings, we are trying to say something, and it is understandable to the audience too. Synecdoche, a figure of speech in which a part is used to constitute the whole for a part, the specific for the general for the specific, or the material for the thing made for it. So if you take a look, it's like when a part of something is used to refer to the whole, like if you could see in the example in the picture down here, do you like my new wheels? That doesn't mean that we actually have to look into the wheels. Rather, that girl is asking about the car. So a part is, shown as a full thing, as a whole thing. His parents bought him a new set of wheels. That's the thing. Hey, men, good threads. Take your face out. Now, when I'm saying take your face out, that doesn't mean that I just want you to take your face out and you just keep your body in the room. It means that get out. So that's the other way. This is synecdoche. Next is hyperbole and improvident statement. The use of exaggerated terms for the purpose of emphasis or heightened effect. You see, if someone is saying, I'm so hungry, I could eat a horse. Like once you exaggerate, जैसे आप उर्दू में कहते हो मेरे सर पे 20,000 मसले हैं, या आप कहते हो कि मैं बहुत ज़्यादा मसरूफ हूँ, मेरे पास 5,000 काम है करने के लिए. So in that way, actually you're not doing that for the day, but you are trying to exaggerate. This is what we call hyperbole. I'm so hungry, I could eat a horse. I have a million things to do. If I can't buy that new game, I will die. I love you. No, I will love you, dear. I will love you till China and Africa meet. So exaggeration, as you could see. Then you have euphemism. There is a misspell, euphemism basically. An indirect word or expression substituted for one considered to be too harsh or unpleasant. Like you don't want someone to say which exactly that person is, you put it in different way, in a softened way. For example, pre-loved for second hand. For example, if that's being loved already, you call that second hand. Passed away, you say instead of died. Sanitation engineer instead of garbage man. Healthy instead of fat. So that's how we do it. And in Pakistan, there is something so common. If someone is so black, you start calling him white or chitta. That chitta is going somewhere. So this is a kind of a jargon which we do. Then we have litotes. A figure of speech consisting of an understatement in which an affirmative is expressed by negating its opposite. So again, for example, if a person is very intelligent, someone might say, he's not dumb or he's not unintelligent. Like there is one more rule which you have to, be careful. Whensoever there are double negative into English, except black words vernacular, if a wrong term, maybe nigger says something. So in the regular language, if two negatives are there, that means that it means positive. It's like maths. Negative is positive. For example, he is not unintelligent means he is intelligent. Not and un is being cancelled. It is not unnecessary means it is necessary. I'm not unmindful means I am mindful. So such kind of things. After someone hires you, you might say, thank you, ma'am. You won't regret it. Something like that. The other's way, the soft ways of saying the things. Then we have personification, which is so commonly used, a figure of speech in which an inanimate object or abstraction is endowed with human qualities or abilities. A living thing is compared with a non-living thing or used for a non-living thing. For example, the stars dance playfully in the moonlit sky. The run-down house appeared depressed. House appeared depressed. The first rays of morning tiptoed through the meadow. She did not realize that opportunity was knocking at her door. So, such kind of things. And then I have to talk about irony, the use of words to convey the opposite of their literal meaning. It conveys the opposite of the literal meaning. A statement or situation where the meaning is contradicted by the appearance or presentation of the idea. A pilot with a fear of heights saying, oh great, after failing the exam. You see, a pilot with a fear of heights, like he's a pilot. In horror movies, the audience aware that there is a killer in the house, but the character does not. If you are not getting these examples, take example of Meera. If I say, we know that how Meera speaks English, and if I say that Meera speaks English very well, and all of you know that how she speaks English. So this is irony. In short, when you say something and that means something else is what we call irony. It can be verbal, it can be situational, it can be dramatic. Then you have assonance. With the assonance, I talk about alliteration as well. Alliteration is repetition of initial sounds. For example, Baba, Baba, black sheep, Coca-Cola. So initial sounds when repeat itself. On the other hand, assonance, identity or similarity in sound between internal vowels in neighboring words. For example, patience, always, pays. So our sound is repetition of vowels. It beats as it sweeps, as it cleans. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Johnny went here and there and everywhere. Here, there, everywhere. So these are assonance. Then you get to know about onomatopoeia, and these are the basic first. These are one of the basic letters and basically words which were coined. So what it says, the formation or use of words that imitate the sounds associated with the objects or actions they refer to. For example, plop plop, fizz fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. The firecracker made a loud kaboom. Both bees and buzzers buzz. The birds chirp filled the empty night air. For example, you're throwing something into the water and there is something heavy material and water give you a sound of splash. So that from there we get to know about onomatopoeic word, that is splash. Or that can be, that cuckoo birds basically is coming from because the cuckoo sound is cuckoo. That's how we call him cuckoo, such kind of words. Or for the crow. Oxymoron, when two opposite things come together, a figure of speech in which incongruous or contradictory terms appear side by side. For example, living death, cruel kindness, silent yell, pretty ugly. In the examples you may find it, or beggarly riches. Then the last one perhaps, that is antithesis, an opposition or contrast of ideas. Two opposite ideas are put together to achieve a contrasting effect. Speech is silver, but silence is gold. Love is an ideal thing, marriage a real thing. Many are called, but few are chosen. So that's how it is. That's all what I got to say about your figures of speech. If you have any query, any question, you may directly ask me anywhere, wherever we meet. And inshallah, I'll talk about the other concepts in depth as well. Up till then, I'll take your leave and I'll see you inshallah again. Thank you so very much for your patient hearing. Bye-bye.